welcome to another video on my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 limitations Nigerian remote workers face while working from Nigeria. Now, it could be very juicy to work from Nigeria and in dollars or in pounds, as the case may be, but this doesn't come without limitations and problems. And if you're someone looking to be a remote worker in Nigeria, or you are already a remote worker in Nigeria, what this video is going to do is it's going to let you know what others are facing, or what you might actually be facing, and as well prepare you for these challenges. So without further ado, let's get down to the business. The first challenge you're going to be experiencing as a remote worker in Nigeria is high operational infrastructure. Now, what this means is, as someone who does remote work in Nigeria, you are responsible solely for your power generation as well as your data subscriptions. And unlike while working for a company or a corporation, they are the one who get to handle power generation. If you're an employee, you don't have to bother yourself with data subscription. Even while I was working in the corporate world, I had free internet, free Wi-Fi, power was also free. You get me? So, but working for myself remotely, I have to be the one, burning fuel, and getting petrol for generator can cost anywhere around 300,000 and 350,000 a month, and this is no child's play. So that's one of the limitations you're gonna face. Also, data cost and even data inconsistency. Most remote workers get to have at least two SIM cards, and some even get to have Starlink, which is also very expensive. So that's what it is for me personally. I have two SIM cards, and right now I'm even having an issue, a situation with one of the SIM I had. I subscribed on it, and I'm not able to use it because of that network is bad. So I was forced to subscribe another network, which has also added to my cost. Now the next limitation is currency volatility and payment friction. Now what does this mean? If you're someone who does remote work, you know that the dollar to naira exchange rate is always fluctuating. The cost of $1 to one naira today is definitely not what it's going to be tomorrow. So all of this makes it a bit inconsistent. It makes planning your finances inconsistent. Okay, so that's what you're going to be facing. Also, another thing is um the friction of accepting payments. Most payment platforms do not work in Nigeria. Something like PayPal doesn't work in Nigeria. Cash App is not really stable. So, and most means in which your employers or platforms you work with might want to use in paying you, most of those platforms may not be acceptable, or they are not eligible open to Nigerians, and that also comes at a friction. You get me? So that's what that is about: currency volatility and payment friction. The third limitation you might have to face while working remotely in Nigeria is what I call social isolation and loneliness. If you're someone who works remotely, Nigeria don't have a lot of that's something they are called third species. Third species are places, hubs where um, people who work remotely go to work. They can form network. They can see a mentor, you can see a mentee, you can see people working on what you're working with, and create that community. But most Nigerian cities don't have these third species, and the I think there are third species in Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Abuja, but they are expensive. You know, some of them have to pay monthly to use these third species. Some of them may be far from where you stay, and transportation, traffic, and all that can affect your workflow. So that's also a limitation. And another thing is, since remote work is not something that is very rampant in Nigeria, it's not like as popular as regular traditional job like being a nurse, doctor, all that kind of thing. You may not have that professional body, that professional gathering, that professional cover. So that's also one of the limitations of being a remote worker in Nigeria. The last one, okay, not the last, the second to last one is time zone fatigue. Since most of your remote work are going to be based in Europe and North America, that means you have to typically start working at 5 p.m. a day, and you might work into 2 a.m. in the night. So that's also one of the situation with doing remote work in Nigeria. There's time difference. I think the time difference between Nigeria and the US is like 5 hours um to the UK. Okay, the UK is almost the same thing. In most part of Europe, you have 10 hours, 9 hour differences. So this might mean you have to be active at odd hours to be able to jump up on opportunities or deliver job, and can also lead to fatigue in the long run, and also further lead to isolation. The fifth and the last limitation you might face as someone who does remote work in Nigeria is location bias. Location bias means simply being based in Nigeria, the fact that you're Nigerian, it triggers something in the mind of those who are outside of Nigeria, in Europe, North America. Those who have gone ahead of us in this business of remote work, we are known to be those with the best reputation. So as such, um, you might not be trusted out there trying to sell your skill. And also another thing is, since most of this outside world know that Nigeria has infrastructure problem, and all that, they might not give you job because they might be scared that you won't meet up deadlines and all that. So guys, there you have it. 5 limitations every remote worker in Nigeria experiences. Let me know if you're facing any of these, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Peace and subscribe.